channel. My name is Berry. Today we're watching the dumbest TikTok trends ever. The most dumbest thing that we did when I was in school was we would take packs of Smarties and crush them up and that's pretty much it. I wonder what's happening now that people are getting ideas from the internet.
A new trend on social media is raising serious concern among local police departments. It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Please, don't pee your pants for TikTok. This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
I'll pee my pants for free. Don't tell me what to do.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
TikTok created the internet's worst challenges, and as of right now, TikTok could potentially be banned. Today, we'll explore the dumbest TikTok trends ever, starting with weird ones to straight up insane. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we gotta keep growing. So 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you did. And I promise to do my very best. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The pee in your pants challenge.
This can't be real. What clout do you get by walking around in soggy pants all day? That is disgusting.
People usually join TikTok trends to look cool, but the pee in your pants challenge was different because it was just embarrassing. It began in April 2020 when a guy named Liam Wire filmed himself peeing his pants. Then he posted the video online.
Pee your pants challenge.
Liam made the video as a joke. He just wanted to make fun of how ridiculous TikTok challenges had become. But people didn't get that joke. Instead, they thought he was trying to start a new trend. And just like that, the pee your pants challenge took off. TikTokers everywhere started filming themselves in front of mirrors, wetting themselves. Anyone watching the video could see the wet spot on their pants.
Pee your pants challenge.
Where's the poop your pants challenge? That seems a little bit more hardcore.
TikTok eventually deleted Liam's video, but that didn't stop the challenge from spreading. This was during the lockdown when people were stuck at home and desperate for entertainment. At its peak, the pee your pants challenge hit over 4 million views on TikTok. But although it was getting a lot of attention, most people obviously found it disgusting.
Please, don't pee your pants for TikTok. This is
a public service announcement. Why am I gonna listen to you? I already pissed myself.
Perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
But it wasn't just gross. There were real consequences for those who took part in the challenge.
What?
The biggest
They went to
problem
jail?
was that the internet never forgets. Anyone who did this challenge now has a video of them peeing their pants on the internet forever. And with many employers now checking social media before hiring, they could easily find those embarrassing videos.
Oh my God, imagine you go to a job interview. Sir, is this you pissing yourself? No.
Videos. The challenge eventually faded, but it left an important lesson behind. Trends end, but embarrassment lasts forever. This next trend also seemed harmless, but it could easily send people to the emergency room.
What?
The raw dogging challenge.
Am I allowed to watch this on YouTube? This seems like it needs some drum solos in front of it.
In 2023, Apple TV released a show called Hijack. It was an interesting story, but no one expected it to spark one of TikTok's dumbest trends. In the Hijack show, the main character spends 7 hours on a plane without using any device.
Oh, it's going on the plane. I am so sorry. I am too online for this.
Devices for entertainment to pass the time. He endured the long flight with 0 distractions. Somehow, this inspired TikTokers to do the same. By June 2024, people were posting videos of themselves raw dogging flights. This meant no scrolling on their phone, no music, no reading. They would just sit there for hours staring straight ahead.
That is horrible. Like, it doesn't even seem fun. That seems awful. At least when I'm on a flight, what I do, kick back, play Slay the Spire, maybe take a nappy wappy.
They called it the raw dogging challenge. At first, it seemed like an interesting endurance test. Some called it the ultimate dopamine detox to reset the brain. But as always, TikTok took it way too far. Participants added extra rules like no sleeping, no drinking water, and no snacking or eating.
Do they have moderators for the board? Are they gonna make you record yourself the entire time? Camera required, and make sure you have Live Split downloaded.
More extreme it got, the more people tried to outdo each other. Soon, raw dogging flights wasn't just a trend. It was a competition who could last the longest. Even celebrities, rappers, and athletes joined, posting their own entries. Before long, the challenge even had an unofficial scorecard. And since it turned into a contest, people started cheating. Some actually raw dogged flights while others just faked it. Like Nathan Daw, who posted a TikTok claiming he raw dogged a 9-hour flight. But there was one problem. The airline he flew didn't even have flights that long. Then
I love that they fact checked him. No way, man. You can't get away with anything. That's insane.
there was comedian Danny Duncan. He said that he raw dogged an 18-hour flight, but his clip was obviously a joke. But not everyone picks up on these jokes, so these fake videos inspire more people to actually participate. And that's where the real problem started, because most TikTokers didn't understand that this challenge could actually be dangerous.
I actually don't know how. Maybe you would just get really dehydrated, or there's probably like some atmospheric pressure type. Probably no drinking, no going to the bathroom, no eating. It's probably, I don't know, pressure, science, Bill Nye the Science Guy rolling out the TV. You know what I'm trying to say.
Taking long flights without food or water increases the risk of dehydration.
Yeah!
Planes already dry you out, and
What?
this only makes dehydration worse.
At sea level, the average humidity in the air is 40 to 50%, where in an aircraft it can be as low as 10%. If your body isn't used to that level of humidity, you can rapidly dehydrate.
I think even on flights, they have to like supercharge the flavors on food if you get a meal, because your taste buds are even different up there.
But dehydration wasn't the only danger.
So not only are you dehydrating yourself by just sitting in the cabin, your blood is also losing a lot of oxygen by breathing in such thin air constantly.
Airplane air is way thinner than what we breathe on the ground. That's why people feel lightheaded or exhausted after a long flight. The lower oxygen levels make it harder for the body to function properly. But most TikTokers didn't understand the risks, so they kept going. Luckily, the media stepped in just in time. One article read, "Idiots are doing this on planes and it's dangerous."
I would not want to be called an idiot from a news article. What are you supposed to do back? Maybe leave a comment and be like, that's not nice.
They ripped the raw dogging challenge apart, listing all the ways it could go wrong. Other media personalities called the trend pointless.
Being a person, being present in the space you're physically occupying, even that we now call a trend.
As news outlets criticized and pointed out the dangers, the challenge started losing momentum. And by the end of 2024, TikTokers abandoned the raw dogging challenge and
No, now they're gonna have to go to the Mile High Club challenge. Dang it!
moved on to the next viral trend. We already know that TikTok is full of terrible health advice, but this next challenge might be the dumbest health trend ever. The beer tanning challenge.
Beer tanning? I'm gonna guess every time it comes up. Maybe like you take a dip in a big bath of Miller Lite, go outside, try to get a tan, and look good for the summer.
The beer tanning trend probably started because of a shocking claim that spread on TikTok. In July 2023, a TikToker posted a video warning that using sunscreen was actually dangerous.
They're literally rubbing cancer into our skins.
The District of New York follows a report by online pharmacy Valisure, which detected high levels of benzene in several brands.
Not the banana boat! Anything but the banana boat, please!
And batches of sunscreen.
He explained that some sunscreens contain benzene, which is a chemical suspected of causing cancer. That was all people needed to hear. The video went viral, getting over 5 million views. Viewers were scared, but they were also confused. If sunscreen was dangerous, what were people supposed to use instead?
I hate when people just cause fear. He literally caused a panic and went, okay, bye.
TikTok had an answer: beer. Barely a month after the sunscreen controversy blew up, a new TikTok trend started. It was called the beer tanning challenge. People would film themselves rubbing beer all over their skin, then lie out in the sun. The idea was that the hops in beer boosted melanin in the skin, speeding up the tanning process.
No way.
Oh boy, what's happening here? Yeah, this guy's pouring beer all over himself here. This is the latest trend on...
Do you guys just do whatever people tell you to online? Twitch Prime, BerryCrepe. How about the channel? Thanks.
TikTok.
And it's just that
beer
easy.
tanning.
At first, it sounded like a crazy theory, but soon people started posting before and after shots showing.
Wait, your skin can absorb stuff, so you'll get drunk. Wait, they're like boofing on their whole body.
Off their deep tans. Some even swore beer worked better than sunscreen. Within weeks, the beer tanning challenge became very popular. Videos with the hashtag beer tan skyrocketed.
Wait, is that beer in a
Challenge became very
plastic
popular.
thing?
Videos.
I didn't even know they sold it like that. I thought that was like an iced tea.
With the hashtag beer tan skyrocketed to almost 300,000 views, and more people joined the challenge. But while TikTokers were celebrating their bronzed skin, one group was trying to shut down this challenge ASAP. Dermatologists hated the beer tanning challenge and called it downright dangerous.
Yeah.
For starters, the science behind beer tanning was completely bogus.
Apparently, the hops in the beer stimulate the production of melatonin, which leads to a tan. But there's absolutely no evidence to support this.
Your source? I said it. That's my source. Me.
It has 0 SPF, which means it doesn't protect the skin from sunburn like proper sunscreen does. Even with sunscreen, 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer. Swapping sunscreen for beer only increases that risk. As the media covered the dangers, the backlash grew. Eventually, TikTok stepped in. They banned the beer tanning challenge and started removing any videos promoting it. And since TikTok was suppressing the beer tanning challenge, it gradually disappeared.
To be honest, I didn't even know that there were TikTok moderators. I would get so much crap on my feed all the time. It felt like lawless land. Like, not like Instagram Reels lawless. Like, I wasn't seeing anybody just straight up like, but it got pretty bad on TikTok.
This next trend caused nothing but pain and discomfort. But that's exactly what made people want to try it.
Oh, other countries have regulation for bottles for alcoholic beverages to have to be plastic. Reduces glass bottles as weapons. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. People are just beating each other up with glass bottles.
No Poop July.
You heard him piss your pants. What about No Poop July? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
The No Poop July challenge is as ridiculous as it sounds.
Yeah.
The goal is simple. Don't use the toilet for the entire month of July.
Well, does it count for the poster? Because this is bullshit.
Every year, hundreds of people join in posting TikTok videos to show how long they can last. But before we find out if anyone actually pulled it off, there's a bigger question. How did such a ridiculous trend even start? In July 2020, a TikToker named OKCron posted a video looking extremely uncomfortable. The text on the screen read, "Day 1 of No Poop July."
Like Dark Souls difficulty, only Taco Bell, only ice cream if you're lactose intolerant.
OKCron's face said it all. He was struggling to hold it in, but the caption made it even funnier. It said, "Can I make it till the end?"
No.
It was a bold question, and thousands wanted
There's no way. He's not gonna make it to the end, and it's gonna keep coming out his end.
to see if OKCron could actually last the whole month. His video received 84,000 likes, and the comments were full of people cheering him on. As the days passed, OKCron kept the suspense going with dramatic updates.
How do I believe you? I never believe TikToks. I don't believe TikToks, and I never, ever, ever, ever believe Reddit posts. Those are two things that you can never make me think that there are actual people spitting facts or telling the truth there. I literally can't. I'm more likely to not believe your story.
Each new video showed him looking worse, sweat pouring down his face, pained facial expressions, and lots of squirming. The more uncomfortable he looked, the more excited viewers got. Viewers weren't sure if he was kidding or if he was really holding it in for a month, but it was entertaining regardless. Then, just as July was coming to an end, there was a twist.
You might know him as the kid who hasn't pooped for 22 days. But
what a reputation, by the way. Imagine going to school. That's the guy that doesn't poop. Oh my god.
Today, I found proof that he lied to us.
What? July, though. Did you fail? Be real.
Yeah, obviously. Like, I did not. But also.
With a
Is it satire? Like, he has to just be joking.
simple, funny video, OKCron admitted he failed the challenge. Up until this moment, No Poop July wasn't even a trend. It was just one guy doing something dumb for laughs. However, it got people wondering if it was possible to go an entire month without pooping. They were determined to find out. TikTok
no.
quickly dug up a real-life case that made the challenge seem possible. It was about a man who held it in for a very long time.
47
While he
days.
was waiting behind bars, Lamar went on a poop strike. He simply refused to go to the bathroom altogether. He didn't go to the bathroom for literally 47 straight days.
Suddenly, No Poop July didn't seem like it was just a joke. So by July 2021, 1 year after the original challenge, it started trending again. This time, more TikTokers joined in, posting videos of themselves trying to hold it in. And
how am I supposed to believe you though? You would have to have like security cameras in your bathroom and like tripwire that alerts the entire TikTok when you're going to the bathroom.
some of them were taking the challenge seriously. Even OK Kron came back for the 2021 challenge, posting daily updates just like before. Then in July 2022, No Poop July returned for the 3rd year in a row.
Oh my God! This is a national event. Everybody's participating.
That's when doctors realized this was becoming an annual event and they were horrified. Worried doctors begged people not to try the challenge.
This is not normal because if you're not having...
Just wondering and censoring myself for people who don't know, does the November holiday also could kill you? I don't know. I can't participate. No? Oh, you can live from that? Interesting.
Having a bowel movement every day, it could lead to abdominal pain, gas, bloating, and other issues.
But instead of dying
I
down,
never made it. He said caught? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't last that long.
it exploded. The 2023 edition of No Poop July racked up 80 million views in just a few weeks.
Dude, it's July. You know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
Fireworks?
Just look on TikTok. It's No Poop July. Oh no!
The 2024 edition crossed 100 million views. But 2024 was special because OK Kron, the TikToker who started it all, decided to turn the ridiculous trend into something meaningful. To everyone's surprise, he announced that he donated about $1,000 worth of toilet paper to various charities.
Okay. Go off, King. Okay. I've told this before, but if you haven't heard, for a long time, I was too embarrassed to buy toilet paper at the grocery store because I thought if I walked out with it, everybody would look at me and go, oh, she poops. Ew. I have gotten over my anxiety, but oh my God, I was so scared.
OK Kron's donation meant that something positive came out of this dumb challenge. Hopefully, No Poop July won't return in 2025. But with how popular it's gotten, it probably will. The next trend on our list was mostly done by women, and it backfired in the worst way possible.
Whoa, wait a second. This could get bad. What did we do?
The Silhouette Challenge.
Oh. Is this the one where you do the red background and then you pose like this? And then people can like check if you're hot? I think that's what it is.
Hundreds of women took part in this challenge, but they had no idea that this trend would make them targets for creeps and trolls on the internet. The challenge started in January 2021 when a TikToker named Elise posted a video with a unique editing style. The silhouette effect with the red background looked amazing. Within hours, Elise's comments were flooded with people.
Okay, not to be that guy, but what do you mean, let me know when the tutorial is up? What tutorial do you need?
Begging for a tutorial. They wanted to make their own versions. Elise listened. That same day, she posted a step-by-step guide. To create the silhouette effect, they just needed to use a red tinted filter from Snapchat or TikTok. Before long, TikTokers everywhere were trying it out. They called it the Silhouette Challenge. Even celebrities joined the trend.
So turn on the light in your bathroom. Okay. Go in your door arch, okay? And just whatever you want to do.
At its peak, the Silhouette Challenge got more than 200.
Is that not an iTunes ad from like 2011? Didn't they do this already?
100 million views on TikTok. But like most TikTok trends, it didn't take long for things to go wrong. Because the challenge was showing off body shapes, the participants wore as little as possible. Others wore nothing at all. After all, the red filter was supposed to hide everything, leaving only a
Wait, so if you were naked, got your buns out, people could just see it? Oh no, oh no.
Shadow. But it turns out the filter wasn't foolproof. Before long, some creeps online figured out how to remove the filter. And once they took it off, they could see everything, if you catch my drift. Suddenly, tutorials on how to remove the red filter.
Guys, do not be looking at Mr. Meow Meow. Leave my kitty out of this.
Filters started popping up everywhere. And since there were hundreds of silhouette challenge videos online, creeps were having a field day. People even created subreddits like Silhouette Unfiltered to share silhouette challenge videos with the filters removed. Panic spread fast. Suddenly, TikTokers were warning everyone to stay away from the silhouette challenge, or at least wear clothes while doing it.
So word of warning, if you're going to make a video as part of the silhouette challenge, keep your clothes on. People are attempting to revert the video.
Don't worry, I got my whole fursuit on. They won't want to take it off.
Videos back to their normal coloring, and that can reveal things that viewers aren't supposed to see.
For some, the warnings came in time, but for others, it was too late. Their videos had been downloaded, altered, and shared to creeps across the internet. TikTok tried to help by banning filter removal tutorials and shutting down accounts spreading them. But instead of being relieved, some victims blamed TikTok for not acting sooner. One thing was clear, the silhouette challenge should have never existed. This next trend wasn't just dumb, it was also a crime.
Oh.
The Chase Bank.
Oh, not the Chase Bank glitch. I saw so many lines outside Chase Bank. Actually, crime time. Oh no. Infinite money glitch. If you believe in infinite money glitch, get back on Sims and start typing motherload. That is not gonna work in real life.
Bank glitch. On September 1st, 2024, TikTokers were buzzing with excitement. The reason was because they thought they found a way to get free money. Thousands of dollars completely free. They called it the Chase Bank glitch.
So what people would do, they would write a big check that they didn't have the money for, a bad check, and then they would immediately take money away from an ATM.
Just like the guy explained, they would write a check for more money than they had in their Chase Bank account and deposit it. These checks were fake because their accounts had no money to back them up. Then, before the bank could catch on, they would rush to an ATM and withdraw the check's full amount. In other words, they were scamming the bank for free cash. As word spread, the hashtag ChaseBankGlitch started trending on TikTok.
Why would you do that and post your face on it? That is like the dumbest thing ever. You're basically asking to get caught.
Within hours, people were lined up at Chase Bank ATMs eager to cash in.
Nah. I said it's heavy.
I feel for people who had to work this day, or like how long this trend lasted. That would be horrible.
Lined up. No, this is elephant.
There was one small problem. The so-called glitch was actually a crime. As more people heard about the trend, financial experts explained why the Chase Bank glitch was actually check fraud.
Make no mistake, in every sense of the word, this is check fraud. You are knowingly writing fake checks. And to make it even worse, you are committing a felony against yourself.
Anyone caught committing check fraud can face huge fines, prison time, and even a lifetime ban from opening a bank account.
What do you do if you can't open a bank account? I guess you like Mr. Krabs under the mattress? What do you do?
Chase will alert every other bank that you try to go to. And you may possibly never be able to get an account. You'll have to.
But despite all the warnings, the Chase Bank glitch kept trending on TikTok. Some posted screenshots of their bank balances as proof that it worked.
Bro. Catch me, catch me, catch me, catch me, okay?
Others saw a chance to cash in, selling step-by-step guides or charging fees to teach people how to pull it off. But it was only a matter of time.
Dang, greedy mother suckers. Actually biblical greed there. I'm gonna give my money and then also I'm gonna charge you to tell you how to do it. No way.
Before the bosses at Chase Bank realized TikTokers were stealing from them. And when they did, they were furious. On September 2nd, barely 24 hours after the glitch went viral, Chase Bank shut it down. The bank released a statement saying the glitch was fixed. fake checks wouldn't work anymore. And just to make things clear, they added, depositing a fraudulent check and withdrawing the funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple. Now everyone who took advantage of the glitch was panicking, and they had good reason to be worried because Chase Bank was coming after them. By October 2024, the bank started suing those who used the glitch.
There's no way this many people have done this. Like, they have to respond to every bot on Twitter. They've probably given away their credit card information to at least 10 scam emails. Like, why would you think that money can be free?
The person stole $335,000 during the glitch. Chase didn't stop there. They identified accounts that deposited those fake checks, froze them, and took back whatever money was left. Most of those accounts ended up with negative account balances with a bunch of zeros.
Wow.
Man, they really told me to tap in. Next day I was supposed to clear and look at my account.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel bad for him. You committed a crime.
Oh.
Soon, arrests began. Those who thought they scored free money were charged and tried in court. The Chase Bank glitch became a brutal lesson. Don't commit a financial crime because someone on TikTok told you it was cool. This next trend took an ordinary daily activity and turned it into something idiotic.
What is it? Playing League of Legends.
The cereal challenge.
The cereal challenge. Okay, let me get my hypothesis in. It's when you leave cereal outside for bears, and they'll chase anybody who goes outside. So you make a little trail to somebody that you hate, and then you spawn bears in their yard. That's my guess.
Here's how the challenge works. Two people had to participate. One person lay down with their mouth wide open, while the other poured cereal and milk in. Then
how could I have guessed this? On what planet would my mind have gone to milk waterboarding?
and the second person had to eat the cereal straight from their mouth using a spoon. To pass the challenge, the person on the bottom had to keep their mouth open while the second person ate from it. Some managed to keep their mouths open long enough to complete the challenge.
You know somebody's actually into this. They're like messaging at least 5 people on Twitter every single day asking if they could do this.
Others ended up coughing soaked in milk. Huge influencers with millions of followers joined the trend. And with that kind of reach, the cereal challenge spread faster.
Doing the cereal challenge with my sister.
Some even decided to involve their pets in the challenge, and you do not want to see those videos. But the challenge was also pretty risky. If the person lying down inhaled milk or cereal, they could legitimately choke and suffocate. This trend was all risk with zero reward. Luckily, the cereal challenge didn't last long.
This is actually kind of disgusting.
But while it was trending, it proved people will do just about anything for 15 minutes of fame.
Wait a second, what in the Alabama? How many people did this with their sister?
Even if it puts their health on the line. This next trend was one of the dumbest and most dangerous ones out there. The Orbeez challenge.
I don't know what the Orbeez challenge is. I'm hoping it's not like the Sharpie challenge. If you know, you know.
In 2022, the Orbeez challenge was so notorious that people threatened to arrest anyone caught doing it. To understand why, you first need to know what Orbeez are. Orbeez are tiny beads that swell up when soaked in water.
There are 1 million Orbeez in this bath. This is...
Okay, this is a kind of a gross story. But a long time ago, I did a stream where I played Mario 64 under the water. And I had to get a pool and I filled it up with a bunch of water. But I forgot to empty the water, and I lived in Louisiana. So one day I went outside, and 900 frogs had spawned in my pool. They were living it up like they were in Schlitterbahn. They loved it. It looked like this. Then they all just left. They went somewhere else.
It's literally so satisfying.
Orbeez are usually harmless. Kids play with them, and some people even use them to relieve stress. But in 2022, someone had a reckless idea. They started loading Orbeez into toy guns and shooting them like tiny water bullets. Except they weren't aiming them at friends. They were targeting random strangers.
Great! Yeah, awesome idea, man. You really were thinking hard about that one.
These things can shoot up to about 200, 210 feet per second.
And then it got even worse. People began freezing the Orbeez before loading them.
What's next? They started putting push pins and tacks in the top of the Orbeez.
So instead of bursting on impact, the frozen Orbeez hit like rubber bullets.
Oh my god! How can people think of this?
That made them a lot more painful and more dangerous.
These toy guns, well, they can really actually replicate a real firearm.
By March 2022, the Orbeez challenge was out of control. TikTokers across the country were shooting Orbeez at random strangers.
A new trend on social media.
I didn't say nothing.
Media is raising serious concern among local police departments. It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Police cracked down hard, arresting teens who participated in the challenge. In one case, 4 teens were arrested. They were charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and reckless endangerment.
How much trouble can you get in for disorderly conduct? It kind of sounds like shenanigans. Like, it's like, oh, they participated in silly shenanigans.
Police say surveillance video showed the 4 teens pull up in a car and fire the gel pellets into a class working outside.
You would think...
Yeah, felony tomfoolery. Wow, wait, you can... It's a misdemeanor, 12 to 18 months in jail. Thanks, guys. How did you know that all so fast? You don't have to answer. You can consult a lawyer first.
Arrests would scare...
The gel pellets into a class working outside.
A school?
You would think arrests would scare people off, but it didn't. Kids kept doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life. On June 2nd, 2022, a group of teenagers Orbeezed some guys playing basketball.
Aww.
But these weren't the kind of guys to laugh it off. A fight broke out, and by the time it was over, one of the basketball players lost his life. He was only 17. When the media reported the case, people finally realized how serious this challenge was.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
That was the final straw. Police cracked down harder on the Orbeez challenge.
Yeah,
in Kentucky,
they have to.
a mayor banned water pellet toys completely. Walmart, Target, and Amazon pulled Orbeez from their shelves.
They did? How did I not even know about this? I just don't go outside.
Even Spin Master, the company behind Orbeez, addressed the issue. They released a statement saying they had no affiliation with the gel toys and that their Orbeez products were not intended to be used as projectiles. But after all this, the Orbeez challenge didn't completely disappear. Orbeez challenge incidents were still being reported as recently as 2024. These trends prove that some people will do anything to fit in. But just remember, the people that change the world are the ones that choose to be different.
Huh? Dare? Dare to be different? Was that a no drugs, no alcohol hat? Maybe I think I'm just old. I just immediately thought of Dare. Well, that was the end of the video, everybody. I feel like I learned that I should uninstall TikTok. Maybe not. Just, you know, don't do anything online that people just tell you to do. Have your own brain, have your own thought process. I think that was the message. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great night. Also, subscribe. And don't listen to what I just said, because I did just tell you to subscribe. So make sure that you do. Okay, bye-bye!